in our discussion this evening. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for introducing yourself so we could hear your story.
Thank
So we'll
you.
so we'll start and just give a brief presentation this evening. My name is Jonathan Jones, and it's my privilege and pleasure to be your host and moderator for the evening. To get us started, though, I want to share a story, and it's a story that may be familiar to most of you, but I think it's worth hearing it again. And this time, I'm going to let it play to the end because in this story, Martha Lawrence says something that in today's economy makes it an even more compelling story to tell. Okay, so let's listen in to Martha Lawrence as she shares her story. Now, just to give you a little bit of the backstory on Martha and telling her story, this presentation goes back maybe, I don't know, 2 years. It was before the COVID days, so it was prior to COVID. But we were having a presentation on Sunday afternoon at about 4 o'clock. And I remember that she had called me to tell me that she couldn't believe how her fingers were working, and is it possible that this could be working this quickly? But she tells a whole lot more of what's going on with her family in this story. So let's listen in, because I think that this is something that you can not only benefit from, but even be excited about sharing this story with some of your own personal guests and friends.
Comment and say that I've been on the Micro Daily now since about April. And yes, my A1C, I was considered pre-diabetic, and my A1C has dropped tremendously. And also my brother in Virginia, he's diabetic very bad. He takes the insulin and 10 other medications. And what I did, I sent him 4 bottles of Micro Daily, and I told him to take it 2 times a day. And he's been taking it now for about the last, I guess, 6 weeks. Well, anyway, another brother of mine called and asked me, "What did you send Robert Van?" So I told him some supplements, Micro Daily. He says, he looks good. He says before he was like dying right before our eyes. His skin was dried out. He was just looked so unhealthy, and he had lost so much weight. He says now he's like a flower that was dying and was watered, and he has come back to life. So even Robert Van told me, he called and he says, "I feel better." He says, "I'm picking up weight." He says, "And I have an overall feeling of healthiness." But anyway, I told him not to stop taking his medications, to wait until he go and, to see his doctor, take his blood work, and let the doctor take him off of his medications. So far, so good. He's doing much, much better. And I just wanted to let you know that Micro Daily did it.
Very good. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Butter, dairy products, and they were giving me asthma-like, allergic to foods such as eggs, peanut butter, dairy products.
Trying to find a spot where she just goes on to tell her story.
Asthma-like foods such as eggs, peanut butter. I was having a lot of problems with allergies. Was allergic to foods such as eggs, peanut butter, dairy products, and they were giving me asthma-like symptoms. I would wheeze and so on. So when I started taking a Micro Daily, stop. And I found that I could eat eggs and peanut butter, but I mean, I didn't go overboard. I got good sense, But I can now eat the foods that I was allergic to. And it has also helped me with, I had arthritis really bad. I could not straighten out my fingers in the morning. My hands were so stiff. Now I can actually move my fingers. And the first time it happened, I was like a little baby, seeing my hands for the first time. So it has really helped my stiffness in my body, where I'm not as stiff anymore. And I have a tendency, I do exercise, but my body gets very sore. But now I'm able, it just for some reason, my body doesn't get as sore as it used to by me using a micro daily. So it has really helped me a lot.
That's wonderful. Now, another quick follow-up question. How soon did you notice that thing with your hands after you started taking it?
Oh, that was in a couple of days. It was like I woke up one morning and my fingers weren't stiff, and I can move my fingers, and it was in a couple of days.
Okay,
It didn't take long.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that they understood that, because I still remember your phone call, and you're noticing that little difference in how your body was working within days. I think your question was, is it possible that this stuff could be working that fast? That's what I think I remembered hearing.
Yes, I couldn't believe it.
So very good. So,
well, anyway, my other brother, who was the one that questioned me about what I sent my other brother, my diabetic brother, he decided he wanted to try it too. But he loves the brain boost because he said he has brain fog all the time. So now he's on the brain boost, and he takes the micro daily too. But he really likes the brain boost. So I have two brothers now that are taking the product.
Okay, and also for the record, I believe you were a fairly health conscious person, and you were taking lots of vitamins and things, right?
Oh my goodness, I spent hundreds of dollars every month on all kinds of supplements, because I've always been very health conscious, and I don't like going to the doctor. I don't like taking pharmaceutical medicines. I mean, the only one I take right now is a high blood pressure medication, and that's it. The doctor has been trying to get me to take high cholesterol. No, thank you. It causes too many other problems. So I'll just continue to take my micro daily, and I eat right. And I started eating even better by just eating all natural foods and whole foods. And so far, so good. We can't hear you, Donovan.
She says, so far so good. It makes it sound like she's made some major adjustment in her life, and now she's on the road to a successful, healthy way of living. So it's exciting to hear her story, and every time I hear it, it's more and more exciting. But think of all the little things that she mentioned in her story. And remember, testimonies are anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. You don't know the clinical circumstances around the person's circumstance. We don't know what happened in their life or what other things may have played a role in the results that she got. So results are atypical. So just keep that in mind. And we're not making any claims that Engage Global's products, Micro Daily, Brain Boost, Collagen Daily, will have any effect on, it's not a treatment for or cure for any disease state. So just keep that in mind as we continue through our discussions. But she mentioned A1C improving. She mentioned her own battle with arthritis. She mentioned her allergies got better. And then her brother with the other brother. So she's got all these brothers that are having all these problems, and they saw dramatic improvements in the way that they live and the way that their bodies function. The excitement as a result of being able to regain your life. Now, here's the question. is there a causal reason why? Is it possible that something as simple as a nutrient could make that big of a difference in a person's life? Is it possible that that could be the case? And we have to ask the question, is it possible? Because we look around right now, and I'm sure that you all are just as aware as I am that the food that we're eating is a real problem. And there's toxins everywhere, even in the most, from the most innocuous sources, or sources that you think wouldn't make a difference at all. But what Dr. Prasad has done is not develop some cure or treatment for disease. All Dr. Prasad did was come up with a formula that would improve the way the body functions and give our bodies a fighting chance, as it were. That's how the expression would go, right? So trying to clear out all these things off the screen so we can actually see this brochure. I want you guys to just look at the backstory behind the way MicroDaily works, okay? Initially, the military was the only one that had access to this product initially. Now, are you all able to see the brochure that I'm looking at right now? It says on the left side of the screen, made to protect, built to sustain everyday life. For life, you're able to see that?
We are, Jonathan.
Okay, all right, just making sure. All right, very good.
If you could make it a little bigger, I think people would probably. No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay, well, it's going to kind of move along. We're not going to even linger on this for very long, because this is the actual science brochure itself. Okay, so you can get a hard copy of this. This is the PDF version of it. So whoever invited you can make sure that you get a copy of this. But it illustrates the point that it was the soldiers on the battlefield. They were the first ones to have access to this product. It was called military micronutrient formula. You can kind of see it up in the top center right side of the page above the soldiers there. That little packet fit in their little pockets on the side of their military fatigue. So they would take 2 of them in the morning, that's on the left side of the packet, and 2 of them in the evening, on the right side of the packet. And it all goes back to 2001. The Department of Defense asked Dr. Prasad for help, and he came to the rescue. Now, any other major vitamin companies could have answered the call to produce this vitamin, but no one dared to step up to do it, because the standard that the government had to pass, that you had to pass to get this approved, was so rigorous that it's not cost effective for someone to have produced a vitamin at this level. Because now it had to be proven that it could last under the harshest conditions, the actual product itself. So the shelf life had to be indefinite practically. And then it also had to not contraindicate with any pharmaceuticals. And you had to prove all of this scientifically. Dr. Kedar Prasad is the only one who was able to do that. So it passed the safety test in animals. Then it went on to, they did the animal studies first. Then it went on to pass the safety test. Then it went on to human clinical trials. It was all completed in 2005. So by the time 2006 came along, it was completely available so that the military had access to it. And this is the man who is behind all of that. His accolades are just off the Richter scale. He's been published more than 200. How you doing? So he has a history, and he's a world-renowned scientist. So this is not just some run-of-the-mill scientist, world-renowned scientist. Former president, International Society of Cancer and Nutrition, member of the British Society of Medicine. And he was also invited to the Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee. So that's where he was. He met Linus Pauling. He was his mentor. So that's, imagine that, being able to be in the same conversation with Linus Pauling. Because, Linus Pauling was the first one who said that every disease is rooted in a vitamin and mineral deficiency. His colleagues laughed him off the stage when he was accepting the Nobel Peace Prize. But no one's laughing anymore, because it is 100% true that it's a lack of proper nutrition that can be traced to every disease state. Every disease state can be traced to a vitamin mineral deficiency. But anyway, Dr. Prasad in 1963 became the world's first radiation biology PhD. A 7-year course he finished in 3 years. So the product MicroDaily has been awarded 7 United States patents. And we'll show you the patents in just a minute. But long story short, $25 million of research went into the formulating of this product. So it's not a normal product. I've had medical professionals say to me, okay, well, it looks like a good multivitamin. That's all right. And I try not to be sarcastic, but really the question is, do you seriously think that $25 million worth of research and decades of this man's focused attention would produce a vitamin that you could pick up at CVS or Walgreens? I don't think so. Well, there's the CEO of the company. His name is David Nemelka. So they've partnered up to produce this product, to bring it to the world, and it's now called MicroDaily. This is the original formula. So if you buy the original formula, it's the exact same formula that the soldiers had on the battlefield. Now, one of the items you can see on the right side of the page is maintain DNA integrity. You really should keep that in mind, especially right now when so many things are attacking and attempting to alter the body's DNA. There are many things that are doing that. But what's inside the product? On the left side of the page, you see the list of the ingredients. And again, they look normal. They look average. But did you know that there's about 6 or 8 different kinds of vitamin E? Because if you say to yourself, well, I'm already taking vitamin E. Well, Dr. Prasad didn't just put vitamin E in the product. He put vitamin E succinate in the product. Now, the entire product crosses the blood-brain barrier. So the benefits of this is that the benefits in the product cross the blood-brain barrier. That's important to know because it's all natural. But what's even more important to know is that vitamin E succinate is cytotoxic to cancer cells. That means it kills cancer cells. The vitamin E succinate is. And Dr. Prasad is the scientist who's credited with that discovery. No other scientist knew that before. Dr. Prasad is the first one to have discovered that vitamin E succinate happens to be cytotoxic to cancer cells. So I don't know about you, but if I have to have a vitamin E in my body, I just as soon have the one that's going to kill some cancer cells as long as it's floating around inside my body. I just assume that it do something other than just make me feel better, get busy. But toward the bottom of the page, you also see N-acetylcysteine, or NAC. NAC raises lymphocytic glutathione levels, and we don't have enough time to talk about all the benefits of raising glutathione. But just understand this: glutathione is your body's master antioxidant, and that's what scavenges up free radicals in the body. But Dr. Prasad set the standard, this special CQF standard, where he focused on combination, quality, and form. That's what all of his products has to meet, that rigorous CQF standard. And they do, every one of them. If it does not pass his standards, it does not get that seal, and it will not be presented to the public. Here is just a brief explanation of the causes of bad health, and it all is connected to free radicals. But my favorite part of this whole thing is that it's gluten-free, has all natural sweeteners, if there's any sweeteners at all. The hydro is the only one that really has a sweetener in it, and all the other necessary credentials that validate the product is also presented. The company makes a gummy that's great for children, and this is the one that I highly recommend the most, the MicroDaily EMF, because we are all being bombarded by radiation right now. If you use a cell phone, you're being bombarded with radiation. There's CBD, there's the methylated form of the product, the brain boost, the eye boost. And this screen here is what I really want to show you. On the left side, about halfway down, you see the line there that says DNA protection and repair. Well, that's one of the clinical trials that was done on the product, where they found out that within 24 hours of exposing laboratory mice to high levels of radiation, one set of laboratory mice died because of the exposure, but the other set demonstrated about a massive amount of DNA repair within 24 hours, and within a short period of time after that, 100% DNA repair. So think about that. We get exposed to radiation We go to the dentist to get x-rays, or we go to the doctor to get a CT scan or an MRI. All that's high levels of radiation. And the radiation technician, you know what they do, right? They go run behind a lead wall because they don't want to be exposed to what they're about to zap you with. That's radiation. This repairs any damage to cells in your body caused by exposure to radiation. So in a week's time, you're back to where you were. Just 72 hours is, I think, the total time it takes to do the repair. So there's no damage. And all it takes is one cell damaged by radiation, one deranged cell, one damaged cell can become cancerous, just one. Look at the picture of those two pictures of rabbit liver right there. The one on the left exposed to, both of these rabbits' livers were exposed to radiation. The one on the left is the one that did not have any micronutrients in its body. The one on the right had been fed the micronutrients. They both died from the radiation, but look at the differences in their livers. That's liver protection. So that's what you want in your body. On the right side of the screen, you see the whole list of the patents that Microdaily was awarded, MMF was awarded. My favorite in the center on the right, the left right, on the bottom, I don't think I can draw on the screen. It says micronutrient formulation for the treatment of diabetes mellitus. That's pretty good. I've never seen a natural supplement that has a patent for the treatment of diabetes. These are some of the books that Dr. Prasad authored or co-authored. And you'll also see on the left side of the page on the bottom, he wrote a book about fighting a heart disease, fighting cancer, fighting Alzheimer's, and just above Alzheimer's, he wrote the book on fighting diabetes. So my question to you is, do you understand now why it is that Martha Lawrence was able to see the kinds of results that she claims to have seen, and how her brother saw the kinds of results that he saw when they started taking these products into their body? And they had all of those results now before the Collagen Daily was released to the market. They had all those results before this product was released to the market, the Collagen Daily. And we have a whole nother discussion about Collagen Daily. You can find most of these our previous discussions where we talked about a lot of this in detail and interviewed Dr. Prasad on my YouTube channel. If you want to have access to that, you can, if you're part of my group, you can just go there and take a look. Just go to youtubejonathan.com and you can find all of previous videos and recordings that we have. youtubejonathan.com. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of the history behind Engage Global, the history behind the man and the brilliance of Dr. Kedar Prasad. And what you want to do, if you're here for the first time, you're going to want to get back with the person who invited you to this discussion, and they will help you to set up your own order for these products. But I'm going to just show you quickly on a screen which of the products that I recommend that you ask for. And everything, of course, depends on you, depends on your budget, and depends on what you feel will be the most beneficial to you. But you can't go wrong with any of the Microdaily products. I can guarantee you that. But Dr. Prasad has put together two bundles that folks are right now excited to choose from. The last call that we had the next day afterwards, a client from Trinidad, she didn't make the program live, but she saw the recording of the program later, and she says, I need that Dr. Prasad's Choice bundle. That's the one that I need because of my health situation. So she's determined to get that, and between her and her niece, and she has to find a way to get it down there to Trinidad because Engage Global doesn't ship to Trinidad just yet. So let me see if I can share the screen with you again. Behave yourself, computer. All right, here's the bundle. So it's actually very simple. The premium bundle on the right is Collagen Daily, Micro Daily, and the Brain Boost. That's packing a powerful punch right there. And this past Tuesday, we shared some stories about Alzheimer's, where Michi Morris tells a story about her mom. So we'll share that next week. And the bundle on the left includes the Eye Boost. So it has the Eye Boost has 4 ingredients in it that's only found in the eyes of an eagle. We don't have those ingredients, but they found a way to harvest those ingredients, put them in a capsule form, and it actually improves the vision in the eye. So those are the 2 bundles that you can that you should be asking for. And you want to get those on subscription now. So you don't want to just, the price that you're looking at is if you buy it on subscription. So plan on being on it for at least 90 days. You don't want to just try it and walk away. We've had some people say, well, it didn't agree with me. I had a bad reaction to it. And once we probe a little bit to find out about the reaction, what they're saying is, wait a minute, I had a headache. So you call that a bad reaction? Well, my eye started to twitch. You call that a bad reaction? Well, I went to the bathroom more. You call that a bad reaction? Well, I got a rash. You call that a bad reaction? You should be grateful that there was any reaction in your body at all once you put this in there, because this is not causing any reaction. What it's doing is causing the body to normalize. So if your body now is transitioning from wherever it was and moving more toward normal, that transition is going to create a little bit of a problem, because now toxins have to get out of your body. And the way the body works is it takes the shortest path out. So in my case, when I first started taking the problem, I did get a rash, but I drank more water to help the toxins get out. They stopped coming out through my skin and started going out the right way through it's got to go out the front or it's got to go out the back. If it don't belong in your body, it needs to go out through the front or go out through the back. That's the way it's supposed to work. But if you're not drinking enough water, you could end up with other complications, because those toxins will find their way to the weakest part of your body. So drink plenty of water. And if you're having a headache, that's an indication of the toxins being dumped into your bloodstream and thickening up the blood. And now it causes what seems to be a headache. So toxins getting dumped in this. So that's part of Herxheimer effect, or detox reaction. So nothing to be afraid of. It'll only last maybe about a week or 2. Just increase your water intake and it will pass. Power through it. Instead of taking less, you should take more. Consider increasing your doses and get it over with quickly. So don't back down, step into it, and you'll find that the results will ameliorate. Okay, so that's the end of our presentation. Got time for a couple of questions. Who has any question whatsoever? There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Okay, you can ask. Is it all natural products?
These are all natural products. Every ingredient is natural. In the original formula, Dr. Prasad had to choose 2 ingredients that were not natural, the folate and the B12. They were very difficult for the body to assimilate. But the purple bottle, the methylated and the EMF, he changed it and put the methylated B12 and the methylated B9 in these products, and the gummies also. So it's gone to the next level up in being natural, but everything in them is natural. These are not synthesized vitamins.
Okay.
The benefits of being able to absorb B9 is your entire central nervous system is connected to B9. The entire central nervous system is connected to B9. And I don't know how much research you've been doing, but there's certain treatments for COVID-19. The adverse reactions to that treatment, COVID-19, has been manifesting itself in nervous system disorders, central nervous system disorders. That's the number one issue with the treatments or prevention efforts for COVID-19. So you want this in your body. It won't cure or treat any disease, no such thing as that, but your body will be in optimal performance. Okay?
Okay.
That was my guess. on tonight. This is Bertha.
Bertha. Hey, Bertha.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes.
Well, glad you invited them on. Thank you very much for sharing the information with them.
Yes, and I'll let him tell you what he thinks so far.
Okay.
I think about it. It's pretty good. It sounds like it's pretty good, so I'm gonna get me some.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, don't hesitate. There's I've had people say to me, well, I'm gonna see how it works on me first before I tell somebody else. Let me say something to all of you. If you hear about something that is doing some amazing things and you've done all the research and evidence of it, don't wait till it show up on you. Tell me about it, please. Tell me now. Let me find out with you. I had one customer who came over to my house one night and she was limping and walking real tentative. She was just looking for something for weight loss. And I said, what in the world is going on? She said, well, I know you got something new. What you got? I said, well, funny, you should ask. And I gave her a couple of samples of Micro-Daily, the little blister packs. I said, this one here is for you, and this one here is for the friend you just told me about. Let her try this one. She got home and she said, no, my friend will have to wait. This one here got to go to my husband, because once he see me getting better, he gonna get mad and ask me for his. So she gave him one and she took one. Oh my goodness, the difference that they found. So don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Tell people about it and let them experience what you have yet to experience, because they may experience more than you will, and they'll be happy that you told them about it. Invite them to these meetings, and we'll be happy to tell them how and why it works and answer their questions. Bernardine, you had a question.
Well, first of all, Jonathan, I'm gonna have to go in a couple of minutes, but I just want to say thank you for introducing me to the products. I think those of us that are baby boomers over 60, we're kind of looking for that combination to actually make something work that give us a better quality life on the back end, so to speak. I received one. First of all, I tell you what was amazing was I sent off for the product. My wife and I talked about it, and the product arrived so quick. I was amazed. I actually didn't expect it to come that quick. So once the product came, I've been on it now 3 days. My wife said I seem to be sleeping. Of course, I sleep all night. For the second time I've took it, I'm sleeping all night. I usually jump up early in the morning, but for some reason now I'm making it 6 o'clock. I run to the gym, and then of course every other day I walk. But I have to say that I'm starting to see some difference in the clarity, because I'm with whoever said with the brain boost. I think that when you get older, and some of you may know what I'm talking about, you go into the room to get something, you forgot what you went in there to get, and then when you leave, you remember what it is. That means you got to make a round trip. So that's not a happy feeling for those of us that are in this position. What my wife and I decided to do was all those extra vitamins and supplements we have been ordering. I'm changing my card to make sure that all of them get off the auto ship. And when they call and ask me back, I'm gonna tell them, no, I'm canceling. So I have to say that I appreciate the information. I'm not as technical as you are when it comes to this. All I want to know is it natural? Does it work? And do I come up with a story that I can share with people and perhaps even make this business? So the best is yet to come. I'll keep you informed. But right now, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So I just want to tell you that.
You look better too.
Well, I was good looking before. You need some of that eye. No, you talking about?
No. That's questionable.
I'll go ahead and say maybe you need some of that eye stuff. But actually, my wife said that I'm a little bit more alert, and she noticed that I'm walking with a little bit more pep in my step. So I have to say, whoever that Rob is about trying this out, I do agree with him. All we're looking to do is feel better. That $165, it sounds like a lot until you realize how much junk food you've been eating. and you get rid of that, and it actually wound up being a very small price to pay to have more quality years on the back end of your life. So I have to say, I don't think anybody that's concerned about health care about the $165, but we want to make sure that the bang is worth the buck. You
got it. That's exactly right. And many folks have said that same thing, Bernard, that they found that they were spending hundreds of dollars on different supplements. And you sit down and just do the math. In fact, I challenge anybody to take and look at the ingredients on Micro-Daily, look at the list, and then go to call up the health food store and send them that list and just say how much for me to get a month's supply of each of those items. How much? How much would it cost to get a month's supply of each of those? And I guarantee you there would be no less than $300 to get a month's supply of all the ingredients on that bottle right there. And this bottle here retails for $99. And if you get it on subscription, it's less than $75. So you just can't beat that. So if you say you're canceling your orders of other vitamins, that just makes perfect economic sense, Bernard.
It absolutely makes sense. In fact, I actually sent this information to a number of friends of mine. They're asking questions. I had 2 friends trying to get in. They couldn't get in, they said. So they sent me a little note they couldn't get in. So, but I told them, I said, we'll get back to them. But I appreciate it, Jonathan.
We need to put them on some brain boosts, because how could they not get in?
I don't know. Usually that happens even when I used to be doing meetings. So, but thank you so much. And I have to leave, but I have to say it was very informative, and definitely I'll keep you abreast as to the results of my problem.
I'm happy to hear the results so far. Thank you very much, Bernard, my good friend. Bernard Dean and I go back to 1982 was the first time I met him as a young man. I was about 19 years old at the time. And I think he was about 65 at that time. So,
like I said, Jonathan, get the brain boost in the eye and the eye product. All right, y'all take care.
Have a good night.
Jonathan.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
This is Darlena. I did not get the eye boost, but I have glaucoma, and I want to know what is it in reference to glaucoma that the eye boost can help. I take eye drops at night and in the morning.
To reduce the inflammation?
No, not inflammation.
Pressure.
Your pressure. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Micro Daily is going to help to start to balance the pressure out. So you may want to make sure that you take a high enough dose of the Micro Daily. So when you get it, did you order the EMF?
I ordered the 165. I didn't order the one with the eye boost.
Okay, but what you're going to get is the red bottle of Micro Daily. Now,
right.
The normal dose of the red bottle is 3 capsules twice a day. Okay, that's the normal dose. If you take 3 capsules twice a day, you'll go through the bottle in 1 month's time. My recommendation, especially if you have like most of us that have a few little more miles on us, me included, Bernard Dean, and I suspect most of us on this call, we need a little bit extra. That's the amount that you would give to like a healthy 30-year-old. So we're double that age, most of us. So I take an extra dose. And in my case, what I do is I take 2 doses first thing in the morning. So I start out the day with 6. And by the time I get to that 4 or 5 o'clock, when I'm feeling a little bit kind of like I'm about ready to take a nap, I take 4 more. So I'm literally taking 10 for the day. That's what I do. And instead of me sending out a notice to cancel this meeting, it's on like Donkey Kong. So take a little extra, and the pressure in the eyes will start to balance itself out. You may find that your doctor may suggest that you take less of the drops. You may not need quite as much. My mother-in-law was losing the vision. She lost the vision in one eye, so she's legally blind in one eye, and the other eye, it's hanging in there. And sometimes I say to myself, now, she's supposed to be blind. How does she know what color tie I'm wearing?
Yeah.
She seemed to be able to see all kinds of things that she was not able to see once upon a time. And by the way, she used to take a tray full of meds, about 20 or 30 different meds. We had to put it on a spreadsheet to keep track of what she was supposed to take. She's down to maybe 1 or 2 things now. A little bit of blood pressure medicine, a little bit of insulin that she takes every day, and she's almost 92.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She should be taking more medication. She's taking less.
Okay. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Any other questions? Anyone? We've got a couple minutes longer than the schedule, but that's quite all right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, folks. this coming Sunday at 5 o'clock. Bring a guest. Bring a guest. That's our main meeting. So bring a guest. You know someone who needs to hear information like this, bring them to the meeting on Sunday at 5 o'clock p.m. Now, toward the end of the month, we had invited Dr. Prasad, so we're hoping that he's going to be able to make it toward the end of the month. But whether he's here or not, and on Sundays, we take it up a notch. We do a deep dive into how the products work. And we make sure that everyone understands very, very clearly how the products work and why they should be choosing it. So we're going to start talking a little bit about cancer going forward. Okay? All right, folks. Well, thank you all very much for joining us. Hope this has been informative to you. I want everybody to understand that meetings like this are for educational purposes only. What's stated here is not intended to be a claim of a medical treatment or cure for any disease state. That's not what MicroDaily is, and Engage Global makes no such claim, and I'm not making that claim. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't encourage you to do anything I say just because I say it. I encourage you to go seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. Get their advice. But this information is part of public record. It's validated. I'm a researcher, and I can confirm. And I've tried it myself. My wife and I use it. Our whole family uses it. Everybody uses these products, and we won't stop. Ever. We've been using them for decades, and we found the best products on the market right now. These are the best that there is on the market right now today. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you very much again. Today's July the 14th, and my name is Jonathan Jones. It's been my pleasure and privilege to be your host and moderator. You folks have yourselves a good evening now. Good night.
You too, Jonathan. Thank you. Bye. Good night. Hey, Susie.
Good night.
Hey there, how are you?
Bye.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Manya.